Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
We got another one, Sam. Number 29, 2 more to go. That's Canadian math for you, 31. We're on the Full Court Press Podcast, the college basketball show. We had a little unfortunate incident. We've got to change the tagline, but we'll figure it out. If you got any ideas of what it should be, the Full Court Press, you tell us. So, but we got a really good one. I mean, this conference, I live in it because I live in the state of Ohio. This conference is just everywhere. And it's funny because we have someone that grew up, born and raised, played there, and now is back coaching there. And I don't know if you've ever been to Iowa City.
It's electric,
it's a pretty cool
man.
place.
It's awesome.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is a fun. It is a college
one of the best fan bases in the country for sure. And Iowa City.
Did you say that to everybody that we have on here?
No,
we say
I don't.
it's either the best campus or best fan base.
Iowa City, and
why? To go see Ryan Reed?
No. I was there for a football game, but some of the best. As a guy from Kansas City, Iowa State has some of the best tailgating.
Iowa State? You just said Iowa State. Iowa City. Okay, just making sure.
Iowa City. Yeah. No, it's all good, man.
Yeah, so we got Coach Matt Gatens from the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. Yeah. Welcome to the Full Court Press.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
I mean, it's kind of like Big Wes Flanagan, who actually you have a connection with. Yeah. I mean, you grew up in it. I mean, you literally grew up in Iowa City. Mm-hmm. You played in it, and now you're coaching in it. And what did you say, Sam? Did you say to Wes Flanagan? And you're living it? What was it? What was the comment you made?
I don't even remember, but
whatever. That was worthless. So I'll just stop now. Go ahead, Sam.
It was good, man. But welcome to the show, Coach Gatens, and we're excited to have you talk a little Iowa Hawkeyes, a little Big Ten basketball with you. You guys we're a couple weeks away from tip off. You know, how's the fall been treating you in Iowa City?
Yeah, we're getting there. It's right this time of year. It's kind of like the secret scrimmage exhibition time of the year. Been through the whole summer and fall lead up, and now you're actually starting to kind of play some other opponents, which players are excited about. So we've done one of those. We got another one on Friday against a Division II opponent. So excited to play another new opponent, and this one in front of fans, and then it's for real. I think the 4th, November 4th, is our first real one. So it's coming quick, but the weather's starting to change, and it's basketball season, and our guys are excited. I really like our team, and excited for what this team can do. It's a tight knit group that's really competing, and so it should be fun to watch.
Yeah. So looking at your roster, I mean, you have the youngest team in the Big Ten by far. and that can be, depends how you look at it, right? What are you kind of seeing with the youth? With the team, you got I think 7 of the top 10 roster spots are true freshman or sophomore, right?
They're young. Like our sophomore class got a lot of experience last year as true freshmen, which is unique in this league to play that many. We played 4 freshmen out there at times, which was great. For going forward, and for them to have that competitive experience. It's one of the best teachers I always thought was actually getting out there and playing. You can try to do as much in practice and workouts, but there's nothing like that actual game film and teaching through that. So. They went through it last year, so I think we're young, but we're also have a lot of experience. And then you include guys like Peyton Sanford, who's a 4th-year guy, returning all-league player, Josh Dix. So we have a lot of experience with that youth. So I think it's a really good combination, and they're fitting in well together. So it's been a fun group to be with, and I think I'm excited for what this group can do.
Yeah. And you got some really interesting and really good transfers. Drew Thelwell, his former college coach, is probably the worst in technology. No offense to Preston Spradling.
Yeah.
We love having Coach Bradlin on the podcast.
Yeah, Coach Bradlin was great. And then you got Sidhu from Manhattan, which, that's a great mid-major conference that he played in when you can average almost 12 points a game. And I like Josh Dixon. You got a nice nucleus of team.
Yep.
What was kind of the recipe with knowing how many players were coming back? I mean, why would you transfer from Iowa? I mean, it's a great place. But I guess how did what was your recruiting philosophy, knowing that you had a lot of key pieces coming back that were the youth?
Yeah, the first thing was, in the spring after the season is, all right, you're figuring out who is coming back and what do we got to do to try to, keep the guys on our roster that, keep them here with us. Because that's the biggest thing is retention, in my opinion, come springtime, being able to keep your guys. So we had a lot of success with that. We lost a couple guys that were older and wanted to go in a new direction, but we were able to keep a really, really strong portion of our nucleus that we wanted to keep. And so that was really successful. And then from there, it's like, all right, we really only had kind of one point guard. Josh Dix can swing there, but Brock Harding was our main point guard on the roster. We needed to probably get another, go kick on the season, probably just one point guard. So that was obvious. We needed to go find another guard. We came upon Drew Thelwell, who all-time wins leader at Morehead State, had played in the NCAA tournament, played in multiple Big Ten arenas, had success. Just a winner. So we were excited about him when he hit the portal and thought he fit. So that's been a great addition. And then after that, it was like, okay, we think we need a little help in our front court. Some athleticism, rebounding, defensive versatility, and so you just continuing to try to look in the portal, find who's going in, and kind of came upon Sadhu later in the process, and he's been another great addition. Fits right in, gives a little different dynamic with his athleticism and the switchability, shot blocking, rebounding. Just a really active player that can also is very skilled. It kind of plays at his own pace, can make plays, knows when to pass it, and really, really good in the open court. So with how fast we play, he'll be an exciting player for the fans to watch for sure.
Yeah. So what's in the water in Iowa City? Because I mean, Dr. Tom Davis was there for 160 years, and Fran McCaffrey's been there for 120. I mean, and then you look at your football coach, Coach Ferentz, who we talked about and I've gotten to meet before, and great dude. He's been there for 136 years. Like, what is it about Iowa City and University of Iowa that's keeping these coaches as long as they've been there?
Yeah, you go on down the line. I mean, from Hayden Fry, who was here for a very long time as football coach, and then Kirk, and having had a ton of basketball coaches. It's a very loyal place. I think they understand the people. The fans get behind the coaches and they give them a chance to succeed. Yeah. And then at the same token, I think it's such a great place. Coaches probably aren't trying to leave and go to their next job. They love it here. Love the fan base. Love living in a great community for raising families. And then it's special too when those coaches do decide to hang them up. Some of them stick around. Dr. Tom Davis still lives right down the street from here. He's, he went on to Drake, but now he came back, and so that goes to show just how special a place this is. But continuity for sure. I think it's something this place believes in. Had a lot of success with that recipe. You go back to Dan Gable, the number of Tom Brandon now has been here. Lisa Bluter was here for over 20 years. It's a loyal place, and it's had a lot of different success in all those different sports, which is special.
And I'm going to make a statement. I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, because I live in Big Ten country. Sam's getting nervous because some of my statements are ludicrous. He's known me for a long time. I would say Iowa fans are some of the most practical fans.
So what do you mean by practical?
Well, they're just
yes,
absolutely. Dude, I'm around Ohio State people all the time. Dude, they're 26-1, and they're like, they got to fire Coach Day, which I agree with. But no, but it's no, I don't agree with. But I just because I lived there for a couple years. I was my first ever TV job was Fox News Sports in Dubuque and Cedar Rapids. The fans were very polite. I don't want to say polite, but they were practical. They weren't. And you see it because it's there's some years you guys don't have the best year, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, but it's never oh, coach is on the hot seat. Like they get it. Okay, they get it. They're not like Michigan and Ohio State fans. And I can say that because I'm a Michigan fan growing up. Okay, that was a horrible statement, but whatever. No one agrees with me.
I love our fans. Yeah,
Iowa fans are amazing, and it's I think it's one of those.
Why'd you guys leave me hanging like that? Come on.
I didn't know what you meant by practical. I mean, it could go a bunch of different ways. So I agree with Coach Guy. Is that a compliment? Like,
it's realistic. I don't know. Like they get it.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good way of putting it. Like that they get it. Like,
I mean, in Iowa City, Iowa Hawkeyes it's their pro team, and I mean, I think they get that. And I mean, people, they live it and they breathe it. And, it's the people who came from Iowa who went to other schools. I mean, you see so many people go back to Iowa afterwards, and I mean, there's a reason for that. So it's a special place for sure. Talking about a couple of your players, I mean, I'm really interested to see how Owen Freeman comes back in his sophomore year. I mean, we talked a little about the youth on the team this year. And one of the things you guys have done so well is developing youth, right? I mean, Owen Freeman, he was not a top 100 recruit last year. There are 13 other Big Ten freshmen who were top 100 recruits, but then you guys developed Owen. He shared the Big Ten freshman of the year. Right. So how does like that confidence kind of lead into this year, and what does his role look like?
Yeah, I think you've seen it, from day one when we came back after the season in the spring, started our workouts, like his confidence, his body's improved. He's continued to work in the weight room and get his body stronger, get in the better shape. And then he's also gotten some confidence expanding his game, out to the perimeter more. I think he'll shoot the ball more this year from the outside. And then, once he shows that, his ability to put on the deck is really impressive for a big guy. So he's starting to really see all the work and, development take place, not in the practice court, then in scrimmages. And, when we're playing 5-on-5, his confidence just keeps growing and growing. But special player that, I love working with, great kid, great family. And, was just really happy, he got off to a great start last year, but now it's like, okay, now you got, now it's your sophomore, you go up on that scouting report, people are going to know who you are. They're going to know your game more. So, and he's been able to add some new things to his game, get stronger. And
I think there's a couple guys that are just flying under the radar on your team and just not getting the national attention. I mean, Josh Dix is another guy, he flew under the radar last year with Sanford and Perkins, kind of taking the leading roles there. And, when you guys cracked him into the starting lineup, I think January 15th last year, he started averaging 20 or 12 points a game. He had like 3 games where it was like 18, 20 points in a row.
He's a guy. I love that dude. Love coaching him. He's tough. Plays both ends of the court. Like he's just, guard the other team's best perimeter player. Like will do whatever. Like he might sprain his ankle in practice and you never know. Like he just wants to stay in, wants to compete. He's a tough dude. The guy you want on your team. And then on the other end, he can get a bucket. He's a great late in games, end of the shot clock. He can go get a bucket, which I think is key. Team shut down, whatever you're trying to run, or late in games, you need a guy that can go get one. But I think he's going to take another big step. He's had a really good summer, a motivated kid, led the league in effective field goal percentage last year, which is crazy to say, with Zach Edey in the league. And he takes a lot of, mid-range jumpers. So he just shot a really good percentage. We need him to shoot more, be more aggressive, but tough dude that is probably, like you said, not getting enough probably national attention, but he's fine with that. He'll go show it.
Nice. And then the last guy I want to ask you about on team is Peyton. I think there was rumors that, him going to the NBA and potentially being kind of first round, second round pick. Like, what were those conversations like with Peyton? And he's pound for pound, could be the best player in the league, could be the best shooter in the country on any given day. And so can you talk a little bit about Peyton?
Another kid, just love coaching. He had the opportunity to chase, some opportunities in the NBA. It was probably close late first, second round pick is what kind of he was hearing. Did a bunch of workouts with teams, got all the feedback. And, I think he just at the end of the day decided with his family and that he had some unfinished business here. And, obviously his brother on the team who's had Price has had a great summer, fall. Excited about his next step. But, the opportunity to play with him again and kind of, just leave, one lasting impression on this program. I think, stuck with him. And that's the special thing about this program. We have guys that really, really care about it. And not just chasing what's next. Like, they care about this program, want to leave it in a better place. And they love their brothers on the team. And so Peyton, I think, we're excited for him. He's had a great summer. He's to come back motivated after the whole NBA process, learned a lot about what he needs to work on. And he's been aggressive. So I think, he got some preseason love, had some player of the year votes, I think, and was all first team. So another guy, obviously it's going up in the scouting report, is probably the guy they're going to circle and have a lot of attention, but he can handle it. He's a very mature kid and a great leader for us.
Yeah. So I would ask you about the non-conference schedule, but I just saw on Twitter that the Big Ten is playing home and away with your 18 teams. I'm just joking. What do you think about the conference being as big as it is? I really I'm a purist.
Yeah.
And it's just hard for me to see UCLA, Oregon, let alone Rutgers, and then, USC and Washington. When that kind of first dropped, it's all, football based. Let's be honest. What is your guys' initial impressions of that decision? And then what is the initial impressions of the conference, like the preseason conference? Because, you look at the media polls and stuff like that, it's like throwing darts against the wall.
Yeah, I think, initially when everyone heard about it, a little shock, like, okay, wow, we're really going coast to coast. And then it's just like, all right, and everything's changing in the NCAA landscape, and this is just part of it. The thing I like about we're located in the middle, so like the travel's not crazy. We're used to going out to Maryland, Rutgers, Penn States. Now we're just going the other way, maybe a little further. But for those teams on the coast, it's a big travel. Into your budgets and sleep and everything that goes into it. So like from that standpoint. But like I'm a purist like you. Like I'm used to like when we actually had 10, 11 teams, and then kind of get used to, all right, now we added Rutgers, Maryland, and I think that kind of got Nebraska as well, and like you just kind of get used to it. Now maybe 10 years down the road we look back and like hardly remember when we didn't have UCLA and the West Coast teams and USC, Washington, Oregon. So, but with the preseason and everything, like just so many new. The new teams and so many new players. I'm sure it's hard for the media and everybody to pick what they think. We don't really pay too much attention to that. We know what we have, and we're excited about the guys, the nucleus we were able to return, and what we're able to add to it. So
yeah, and I just don't think the media understands Zach Edey is no longer at Purdue.
Yeah, which we're all excited about.
Yeah, we were at the Final Four last year, and I'm Canadian, as is Zach and what have you. And so he like came out of I got this video of him wearing people are just ruthless. He's wearing a supposedly bowling shirt, got like 1.7 views, but he literally had to duck under the the door, the door hang or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we saw Shaq and him together, and that was like, God, I'd hate to be in a fight with those two, or in the middle, or around them. Yeah,
I think people have a lot of respect for Coach Painter and what he's been able to do there, and know that they'll probably figure out a way that they play so hard and play the right way, and obviously return a lot outside of losing Zach, but so they'll be right up there. We all assume so, and they have a great home court advantage there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of unknowns, like you said. Indiana's got Ballo, and they've got some other players coming in, Miles Price. UCLA, who knows? Illinois lost a lot. Michigan State lost a lot, but it's Tom Izzo. Then you got Rutgers with probably the greatest recruiting class in Rutgers history. It's going to be an interesting league, and Michigan new coach, Maryland, with Coach Willard, I think they're going to take another step. And you guys, AJ Storr left Wisconsin to go to Kansas. It's just there's going to be a lot of narratives and variables in the league, and it's just who knows. I'll be curious to see Purdue's first, where it's all going to end, and even with you guys 11th. A couple buckets and calls go your way, and now you're top 4 kind of thing. So
right, the unique thing with 18 teams, you'd think, looking at it, like, oh, there's probably some nights off that you can just kind of show up. But like, even though I look at top to bottom of the 18, like you got to bring it every night. Like you're playing in tough environments against good coaches, good teams. But at the same token, I don't know if this year there's a team, just looking at it, previewing preseason, I don't know if there's a team that's just like unbeatable by everybody. Like I think it's just gonna be a very fun season. You know, any night you turn on the TV at home, like you can watch a good Big Ten game and see a good, you know, anybody I think could beat anybody. So yeah. But like our nucleus, where we're able to return, and our consistency with our roster, I think was huge. As you look at, you know, probably what a lot of other teams lost and had to go out and add and figure out chemistry and stuff. So I think we got guys here that understand what we're about and how we want to play, and you know, share the ball and be unselfish and compete.
Yeah, I think that's going to play really well. I mean, we've seen so many teams that have just hit the transfer portal so hard, right? With, you know, juniors and seniors who are expected to learn to play a different way. And then it takes them several months to kind of fit into a new system. And I think
Absolutely.
You guys have a leg up on, especially kind of what the first half of the season brings. And then, you know, when you get into conference, like you said, I mean, any of these 18 teams could knock off any of them on any given night. And I mean, I think that's what's really special about the Big Ten. So, yeah. So LT, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, Coach Gatens. We do a little thing called the shot clock. Luke's going to fire off 5 or 6 questions. Hopefully they're pretty easy. Some of them may lead to one word. Some of them may be a little short story. No pressure on getting to the shot clock. It usually goes a few minutes. But the platform's yours, guys. LT, let's fire away.
And you know what the great thing is? He has no clue what's coming out of my mouth, which is 95%
all the time. I get so
yeah, he sent me his questions beforehand.
No, we don't do it with everybody. You should. I mean, Phil Martelli's still annoyed with us, but that's okay. One word to describe the Big Ten.
Oof. Tough.
Okay. Biggest misconception of Big Ten basketball.
Man. Probably, misconception. Like what? Maybe that word, you know, it's all slow, and you know, I said the word tough, but like but there are a lot of different unique styles, and especially now adding 4 new teams. I think Cronin, you know, that's a tough physical brand of basketball, but I think adding some teams that are playing unique, we play fast, just different styles in the league.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you say of all the coaches in the Big Ten, not inviting the new 4 ones, because Wes Flanagan likes to not invite people in the SEC. He's going to have a little note in a second. Who would you say, which coach or assistant coach or coaches, assistant or head, whatever, who has the best sneaker game?
Oh, man. The best sneaker game. I don't even know. I mean, a lot of us all wear sneakers on the sidelines during games now. Some match.
Yeah. Well, think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I see Izzo walk out with some.
Yeah, Izzo's got a good shoe game. There's some new coaches that might surprise you. I'm expecting Dusty May to show some flair this year, because now he's
again, you know, probably some good Jordans up there.
Yeah, they're good Jordan school, so I'm sure he's got a nice closet.
Yeah, you have a closet full of Jordans. You can walk out there with something nice.
Okay, this is an easy one. Which head coach in the Big Ten is the most animated on the sidelines? Consistently.
Most animated. Underwood. It would be up there.
Yeah. Underwood. Yeah, that's a good one.
I wonder where he got that.
I'd say Izzo and Underwood off the top of my head.
Okay. So you were a 2-time All Big Ten selection, 2-time captain, many career records that will never be broken, or at least top 10 records and what have you will never be broken due to the transfer portal and NIL, which you're probably happy about in that sense. Your name will always be in the rafters. Give me your all-time starting 5 for Iowa basketball.
Wow.
Yeah, just piss some of them off. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, I got to give some love to Garza, National Player of the Year, Keegan Murray, top 4 pick. You know, just going off recent guys, I think they're up there. Man, by Ronnie Lester, I think a lot of people consider one of the greatest point guards ever to play here, maybe the greatest player ever.
Even over BJ Armstrong?
BJ's up there too. Like I think both those guys. Ronnie got hurt. BJ had a better NBA career, obviously winning the championships with the Bulls, but a lot of love for Ronnie Lester around Iowa, but I mean, BJ still, you can't go wrong.
Don't forget Marble.
Marble's up there, Horton. My favorite player growing up was Andre Woolridge. I don't know if you guys know that name.
Yeah.
He was number 5, and that's why one reason I picked number 5.
Okay.
How many guys have I named? Garzik, Murray,
18.
What'd you say?
18. You got like 7.
Big 10.
Yeah,
Marble. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with those 5 probably right there.
Okay. So
Chris Street was a stud too, man.
Chris Street was a stud. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Yeah, that was.
It's a huge piece of our program still, but man, like that.
Absolutely.
Could have had an incredible, great NBA career.
Yeah, I remember him and Jesse Settles.
Just
probably the most. I mean, some of those games, man. Those guys were warriors down low. Like they would just battle. So your boy Wes Flanagan from Ole Miss, hotty toddy as he says, though he's an Auburn grad, which I think is comical, but whatever. We asked him, how many teams should the SEC get into March Madness this year? I am going to turn it out on you. How many teams do you think the Big Ten will get in the NCAA tournament? And we'll tell you what he said.
You're not going to tell me his answer?
Well, first he said 10, and then he said 14, and he was laughing the whole time. And his laugh is just awesome. It's infectious.
Yeah.
So he said 14. And Sam said, you're going to leave out Oklahoma and Texas. He's like, yeah, let's leave out Oklahoma and Texas. They got to wait. So he said 14.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, we've been getting, when the league was
14. You guys got 6 last year, I think, right?
It's just 6. I feel like, in the years we've had 8, 9, some years.
Some years. Last year you had 6. You had Illinois, Michigan State, Nebraska, Northwestern, Purdue, and Wisconsin. So last year they had 6. Yeah.
You're adding 4 really good programs. Can it get up to the between 10 to 12? I mean, it's great for us. Everybody in the league. More teams we can get in there, but just depends. On a lot of the numbers and analytics and your net. But like, if 18 teams, I think you could be looking at somewhere from 9 to 12 teams. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy to say, but
that's crazy. Okay. Toughest arena to play or coach in the Big Ten?
I think Purdue's up there. Very unique. The fans are right on top of you. It's loud. That's a pretty big time arena now.
Okay.
The big, Michigan State, always the students all the way around the court. Always a fun place, really loud. I remember a story I had to shoot I think Izzo or someone got teed up, and the fan. I was playing up there. I think Izzo got teed up, and the fans obviously didn't agree with the technical, and I had to shoot the techs, and it was just like the floor and everything was shaking as I was shooting these technicals, and I think I missed one. I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I wasn't nervous shaking, like the actual building and floor was shaking. They were so mad that the tech got called. But
yeah.
Probably Purdue, Michigan State, Indiana's up there. The one that's really unique is Minnesota. Like the barn, I think is kind of a cool.
Yeah.
The raised floor. Now, like
I don't like the steps.
I don't love that coaching. You're down. You kind of like don't have the same normal viewpoint you're used to. But it's definitely a very unique setting. Yeah. If you haven't been there.
Okay. So two quick questions here. If you were a candle scent, what scent would you be?
Oh man. Just I'm a big usually for my car I go new car scent, so I guess a new car scent. Is that
we've had everything from eucalyptus mint to gunpowder to vanilla bourbon to strawberry to lavender to Caribbean breeze. I mean, we're gonna start it. If this
I've been asked a lot of questions. Have not been asked that one, so you got me there.
Yeah.
Be careful. Come back on again, and I'll make sure you've never been asked some of these. Okay, so they're making a movie about the Big Ten this year. Okay, what would the movie be called? Big Ten basketball movie. What is it going to be called? And you cannot use Hoosiers.
For sure would be called Hoosiers.
He can't. He's not allowed to say that.
Say it. Come on, say it 3 times fast.
Newton. I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
Big 18.
New Jack City. Okay.
The Big Ten, New 10. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you passed, you failed. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
You're gonna like go in your car next. You'll be like, "What the hell did I do?"
I don't know. I'm trying to think what's sent. Yeah,
So,
you got me on that one.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's Coach Gatens. We appreciate you coming on the Full Court Press podcast. A little Big Ten preview, a little Iowa Hawkeyes preview for what the season has in hold. Last minute of the episode, I'm going to turn it over to you, Coach. If there's anything you want to share to the Iowa City faithful fans, Hawkeye student section, what can they be expecting in Carver Hawkeye Arena this year? And platform's yours.
Yeah, appreciate it. The Hawkeye Nation. We appreciate all your support. We're looking forward to another exciting year at Carver and love this team. I think you guys will really appreciate and fall in love with this team's effort, their competitiveness and connectedness. So we're excited for it. Season's right around the corner, so can't wait to see everyone out in Carver and let's get that place rocking and have a great year.
Yeah, we're excited, and we're really excited for Iowa basketball. I mean, you guys have an exciting team, young, which is going to be fun, and the Big Ten is going to be ever evolving and ever changing, especially on the basketball court with 18 teams. But thanks for watching. You're going to stick with us 1 second as we upload, but thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. The Full Court Press. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. I'm really bad at doing. I should do it in the beginning, not the end, but I'm a finisher, I guess, as I close this episode. But don't forget to subscribe, rate, review. Follow us on College Basketball Weekly too. New show coming out in the next couple weeks. And check out the press. Thanks, Coach. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the Full Court Press podcast.
Let's get it.
Thanks, guys.